Biomed Nexus Daily Updates, your essential biotech, medtech, and pharma recap. No noise, just what matters. TLDR Chiesi Group announced a definitive agreement to acquire KalVista Therapeutics, KalVie, for $1. 9B, 27 to share, 40% premium. KalVista's lead product Ekterly is an approved oral treatment for acute attacks in hereditary angioedema, HAE. The deal deepens Chiesi's rare disease portfolio. AstraZeneca, AZN, beat Q1 2026 estimates, with sales topping 15B and expressed increasing confidence in its $80 billion revenue target by 2030. Key Phase 3 wins in the quarter reinforced the pipeline thesis. GSK reported a Q1 sales beat driven by Shingrix jumping 20% to nearly $1. 4B, even as US vaccine skepticism weighed on most of the company's other vaccine franchises. CEO Luke Mills told Fierce Biotech that oncology may offer the most tempting targets under GSK's new strategy of outperforming established blockbusters. AbbVie entered the KRAS oncology space with an option to acquire Kestrel Therapeutics for up to $1. 45B, as Kestrel doses patients in a Phase 1 trial of its oral pan-KRAS inhibitor, KST-6051. Eli Lilly, LLY, reports Q1 2026 earnings this morning before the bell. Consensus, 588 EPS, 15s, 23B revenue, 8% YOY growth. We will cover the results in detail tomorrow. Executive takeaway earnings season is separating the winners from the wounded. AstraZeneca beat across the board, passed 15Bs in quarterly sales, and reaffirmed its $80 billion 2030 revenue target. GSK found a bright spot in Shingrix, while the rest of its vaccine portfolio felt the weight of anti-vaccine sentiment in the US. Novartis missed on Tuesday, as Entresto fell 42%. Today, all eyes are on Lilly. The consensus expects 23B in revenue, up 8%, and 588 EPS, with analyst estimates revised upward over the past 30 days. Foundayo launch data will be the headline number. Beyond earnings, the M&A wave continues. Chiesi's $1.9B acquisition of KalVista adds another rare disease deal to a 2026 that has seen extraordinary deal volume. AbbVie's option deal with Kestrel Therapeutics puts it in the KRAS oncology race alongside Revolution Medicines, establishing competition for what could be one of the largest oncology markets of the decade. Revolution sued Erasca for patent infringement earlier this week, signaling how aggressively the company is defending its position. The KRAS space is heating up fast. Read full analysis, what to watch. Lilly Q1 results this morning. Foundayo TRX trajectory. Zepbound Mounjaro revenue. Achieve 4 diabetes filing timeline. M&A integration commentary. Tariff positioning. Full coverage in tomorrow's email. AbbVie Kestrel. KRAS development. KST-6051 is a pan-KRAS inhibitor, meaning it targets multiple KRAS mutations rather than a single variant. Phase 1 is dosing patients. If data are positive, AbbVie could exercise its option and enter a direct competition with Revolution. Medicines Daraxonrasib. Chiesi KalVista. Integration, Ekterly is approved and generating revenue. Chiesi gets an immediate commercial asset in HAE, a market where Takeda's Takhzyro and BioCryst's Orladeyo are established players. ASCO, May 31, Revolution Medicines plenary session. 4 weeks out, corporate and business developments Chiesi acquires KalVista for $1. 9B to expand rare disease portfolio. What happened? Italy's Chiesi Group announced a definitive agreement on April 29th to acquire KalVista Therapeutics for 27 share in cash, a total equity value of approximately $1. 9B and a 40% premium to KalVista's Tuesday closing price. KalVista's lead product, Ekterly, is an FDA-approved oral treatment for acute swelling attacks in patients with hereditary angioedema, HAE, a rare genetic disorder causing severe, unpredictable episodes of swelling. Executive impact. The deal expands Chiesi's rare disease portfolio and gives the Italian company a commercial stage asset in the HAE market. HAE affects approximately 6,000 to 10,000 people in the US. Ekterly competes with Takeda's Takhzyro injectable prophylaxis and BioCryst's Orladeyo oral prophylaxis, but is differentiated as an oral acute treatment. The 40% premium reflects the competitive market for rare disease assets with approved products and defined revenue streams. This follows the same playbook seen across 2026 M&A, acquirers paying premium prices for commercial stage or late-stage rare disease assets with predictable revenue. AbbVie enters the KRAS race with Kestrel option deal. AbbVie signed an option to acquire agreement with Kestrel Therapeutics for up to $1.45b, according to Biospace. Kestrel is dosing patients in a phase 1 trial of KST-6051, an oral pan-KRAS inhibitor for solid tumors. Unlike Revolution Medicines' daraxonrasib, which targets the active RAS conformation across multiple variants, or zoldonrasib, G12D selective, KST-6051 represents a distinct chemical approach to pan-KRAS inhibition. The option structure gives AbbVie the right to acquire Kestrel at a later date, likely contingent on clinical data. This is AbbVie's first entry into the KRAS oncology space. Earnings: AstraZeneca beats Q1 bullish on ATB to 2030. Target AZN AstraZeneca reported Q1 sales above 15B, beating analyst expectations. Key Phase 3 data wins in the quarter reinforced confidence in the pipeline. Management expressed increasing conviction that the company's ATB to revenue target by 2030 is achievable, driven by oncology franchise growth, Enhertu, Tagrisso, Imfinzi, rare disease launches, and respiratory immunology expansion. AstraZeneca is one of the few large pharma companies projecting accelerating growth through the end of the decade, a contrast to the patent cliff challenges facing Novartis, Merck, and BMS. GSK beats on Shingrix. Vaccine skepticism weighs on the rest. GSK reported a Q1 sales beat driven by Shingrix, shingles vaccine, jumping 20% to nearly $1. 4B. However, sales for most of GSK's other vaccines slumped as vaccine skepticism continues to climb in the US, a dynamic that has intensified under the current administration's public health messaging. CEO Luke Meals told Fierce Biotech that oncology may offer the most tempting targets under GSK's new strategy of trying to outperform established blockbusters rather than build from scratch. Clinical and research updates: Boehringer, Ingelheim, and Zealand Pharma hit obesity. Phase 3, Boehringer, Ingelheim and Zealand Pharma's dual-acting obesity shot met its primary endpoint in a Phase 3 trial, according to Biopharma Dive. The drug was described as more akin to Novo Nordisk's Wegovy in terms of weight loss magnitude, positioning it as a potential competitor in the injectable GLP-1 space. Full results are expected at a medical congress later this year. The obesity market continues to attract new entrants alongside Lilly's Foundayo, Novo's Wegovy, Ozempic, and Kailera's Ribupatide. The week ahead today, Lilly Q1 earnings, pre-market. This week, next, Novo Nordisk, Q1 earnings, first oral Wegovy revenue, May 2 to 5, DDW annual meeting, May 6, Royalty Pharma, Q1 earnings, May 11th, Daiichi Sankyo, delayed earnings, tariff impact, May 12th to 14, Fierce Biotech Week, Boston, May 29, FDA RTCT public comment period, closes May 29th to June, the SECT ASCO annual meeting, Chicago, May 31, ASCO plenary, Resolute, 302 full data, RVMD, read, full analysis, Biomed, Nexus, Pro Institutional Intelligence, brief, the KRAS competition, heats up. 3 companies are now positioning for the KRAS oncology market. Revolution Medicines, RVMD, the leader. Daraxonrasib, multiselective RAS(ON) inhibitor, has Phase 3 data in 2L pediatric 13, 2 months OS, HR0, 40, Phase 1-2 data in 1L pediatric 58% ORR combo, 47% mono, and ASCO plenary on May 31st. Zoldonrasib, G12D selective, has AACR plenary data. CNPV NDA filing expected H2 2026. Market cap 30B+. Revolution is suing Erasca for patent infringement. Erasca, developing its own RAS inhibitor for pancreatic cancer. AACR data were met with skepticism. Biopharma dive slides despite home run results. Revolution's patent lawsuit signals concern about competitive positioning. AbbVie Kestrel KST-6051 is a pan-KRAS inhibitor in phase 1. The option structure means AbbVie is watching the data before committing to a full acquisition. If KST-6051 shows differentiated activity, the $1.45 option price could be a bargain. If not, AbbVie walks away with limited downside. The KRAS market opportunity is enormous. RAS mutations drive more than 90% of pancreatic cancers, approximately 30% of lung cancers, and significant portions of colorectal and other solid tumors. Revolution's daraxonrasib alone has analyst peak sales estimates of $2 to $4. A multi-agent KRAS market could exceed $10 at maturity. Earnings, scorecard, patent cliff versus pipeline. Growth company Q1 result key, metrics, Signal Novartis, Misinteresto, down 42%, patent cliff in real time. AstraZeneca beat sales, 15B, 80 by 2030 target pipeline-driven growth GSK beat, Shingrix, plunging 20%, $2 4B vaccine skepticism, risk J&J beat drug. Sales 15B a myeloma franchise driving, Lilly today, consensus 1523B, plus 36.8%. Y Foundeo launch data. The contrast between Novartis navigating a 4B cliff and AstraZeneca accelerating toward 80B illustrates the divergence in large pharma. Companies that invested in pipeline diversification 5 years ago are reaping the benefits. Those that did not are scrambling through M&A. Lilly? What drops this morning? Lilly reports. Q1 2026 before the bell. Consensus, $5. 88 EPS, 50 hour. 23B revenue, 36, 8% YOY growth. Stock story notes that Lilly beat last quarter with $19. 29B, 42, 6% YOY, and guided above street expectations for the full year. The 5 numbers. Foundeo TRX. How many prescriptions through mid-April? We have week 1, 1390.2 days. The acceleration curve matters more than the absolute number. 2. Zepbound, Mounjaro. Combined revenue, still the growth engine. Supply chain and demand commentary. 3. Achieve 4 filing status. Is the T2D CNPV submission on track for end of Q2? 4. M&A commentary, 6 deals in 3 months, or 21B per biospace. Integration strategy. 5. Full-year guidance, any revision to 2026, guidance incorporating Foundeo, Achieve 4 and deal costs, full coverage of results in tomorrow's email. Catalyst calendar, May 2026. Forward date, event, tickers. Today, Lilly Q1 earnings LLY this week. Next, Novo Nordisk Q1 earnings. First, oral Wegovy revenue. NVO May. 25DDW annual meeting. Multiple May. 6 Royalty Pharma Q1 earnings RPRX May 11 Daiichi. Sankyo delayed earnings. Tariff impact. DSNKY May 12-14 Fierce Biotech Week. Boston. Multiple May 29 FDA RTCT public comment period. Closes N May 29 to June. 2 ASCO annual meeting Chicago. Multiple May 31 ASCO plenary. Rasolute 302. Full data RVMD end of Q2 Lilly Foundeo. T2D filing under CNPV. Expected LLY summer 2026 FDA RTCT pilot program. Launches. Multiple late May 2026 commerce section. 232 report on medical devices expected MDT, BSX, SYK, ISRG June. 2026 Takeda CEO transition, Julie Kim. Tech July 1 Medicare, GLP-1 bridge program. Launches LLY, NVO July. 31 section. 232 pharma tariffs effective, large companies. Multiple H2 2026 Lilly, Colonia. Close expected LLY H2 2026 Ajax proof of concept data. Expected LLY H2 2026 Beeline Medicines. Afimatoran phase 2. SLE readout private H2 2026 Revolution. Medicines, CNPV NDA filing expected RVMDH2, 2026 Novo Nordisk Awakely, US launch, first weekly insulin, Envimid 2026 Lilly, Retatrutide phase 3 obesity readouts, Triumph program, LY Sept, 19 Ultragenics, UX1 on 11, PDUFA, Sanfilippo, Type A gene therapy, rare CEP29 section, 232 pharma tariffs, effective all other companies, multiple NOV 2026 Novartis Tristo. European patent expiry begins NVS 2027 Sun Pharma Organon. Close expected OGN end of 2026 PHRMA CEO transition NA. Visit the Pro Hub read. Full article. Is your company listed in the Biomed Nexus directory? 2,104 companies across 14 categories. Claim or upgrade your listing. Sponsorship slots for 2026 are limited. See packages and pricing.